Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here today. Actually, it's my first time in Colombia, and I'm having such a wonderful time. But what's been interesting to me is many of the comments I'm receiving about how much Bogotá has changed over the years. And to me, it's not that surprising because that's something we're seeing everywhere, how much change is occurring. We're seeing it in our industry, we're seeing it in the businesses that we lead, we're seeing it in the expectations from our clients, what they want from us. And so today, that's really what I want to focus on. I want to focus on change and why it is very important to embrace change, to accept change. So during this time of constraint on profitability, on expense reduction, institutions are really focusing on repositioning themselves. And BNP Paribas isn't any different. We recently announced our Ambition 2020. This is a plan to maintain our standing and continue to build our business by reinforcing the client franchise. This is a strategic approach focused on digital transformation and customer satisfaction, because it always comes back to our clients and our customers. Last year, the Group CEO of BNP Paribas, Jean-Laurent Bonnafé, announced an ambitious program of digital transformation with plans to invest 3 billion euro over the next 3 years. And this is in digital technology to transform the business. This is to boost spending on digital initiatives, and this is an increase of 50% over the last years. This is not just based on technology, but also in investing in training staff and hiring the right people with different skill sets, not just the traditional finance and MBA backgrounds, but also greater analytic skills and development skills. The goal is to really identify new ways to do business. So what does this mean? It means we really want to focus on continuing to enhance revenue, increase efficiency, reduce risk. It's something we're all thinking about within the institution and our customers. And of course, the client and employee journey. One of the key pillars to accomplish this is transformation and innovation. So what is this? It's collaboration, acceleration, and execution of activities that promote an innovative mindset throughout the platform. This involves working with fintechs and startups, exploring new and emerging technologies, and developing in-house expertise. So when we think about these technologies, there are many of the technologies we're hearing every day: blockchain, artificial intelligence, harnessing data. Every journal we pick up, the Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, Business Week, we're seeing articles on these topics and how it's impacting our business. One of the key drivers for digital transformation is improving the customer experience. This involves building services for tomorrow, industrializing our processes, and improving that client journey. For example, we've implemented a portal, our Centric portal, and this is a single entry portal where our clients can access many of the different applications that we have available, including Cortex FX and Connexus Cash Management. Also, customized reporting. I think clients are expecting more bespoke reporting and information that's really relevant to their businesses. And of course, intelligent content resulting from data analytics, harnessing the vast volumes of data that are available. So there is so much to talk about, and I know you don't want to sit here for hours, so I'm going to try to narrow it down. So the two topics I really want to focus on today, two of the enablers that we're seeing in our industry and others, are artificial intelligence and blockchain. So let's start with artificial intelligence. What is it? So AI, artificial intelligence, is intelligence demonstrated by machines. So what would we contrast that to? Natural intelligence, intelligence displayed by humans and by other animals. So in computer science, artificial intelligence research is defined as the study of intelligent agents. So basically, algorithms that enable devices to take action to maximize the chance of successfully achieving goals. It can be described as tasks performed by a program or a machine, algorithms that can learn or solve problems. We use it in our day-to-day currently, if you think about it. We all ask questions to Alexa, to Siri. We're ordering from Amazon, and even depositing checks via cell phone. It's been around since the 1950s, so this isn't new technology necessarily, but there have been waves of optimism and disappointment. So in the 70s and the 80s, there were periods of time, the AI winters, where funding was lost because AI wasn't achieving the commercial objectives that people and institutions were expecting. But in the last several years, there's been quite a bit of attention on artificial intelligence. So you have to ask yourself, what's different this time? This has been around for decades. Why should we be concerned? For one thing, data availability. We see more data than ever before. More data is being collected and at a faster rate. Additionally, the infrastructure to store data. And lastly, technology. There's faster processing, greater computing power, and advanced algorithms, allowing for greater impact across industries, including the financial industry. We see AI being used for algo trading, for risk management, wealth management, fraud detection, customer support, and many other areas. There's huge opportunity. So you have to wonder which sectors are really at the forefront of adopting this technology. Looking at sectors leading in AI adoption and the future trajectory based on current usage of AI, we see that in the next 3 years, technology and finance are going to be huge adopters of artificial intelligence. And this is absolutely critical for the financial industry as we face more and more challenges every year. We think about the political and regulatory fluctuations and the technology advancements that are forcing providers to rethink their approach to client servicing. We're seeing these trends leading to widespread industry change. I think we're all very aware of the changes that are taking place in our industry and how different it's going to be within years on how we do business. This is why the banks established additional digital transformation teams to focus on these topics, to address the challenges the industries are facing. Within BNP, these teams have been investigating AI technologies to improve both internal processes and external processes, to reduce repetitive tasks, to reduce risk, and of course, to improve that client satisfaction. And that is a theme you're going to see throughout this presentation. One of our key drivers is how do we better service our clients? There are a number of areas where BNPP is exploring AI. One area we've had plenty of success is actually a proprietary system called Omega. This is used in our secondary bond trading platform. It works by looking at historical inputs such as client holdings, e-platform, voice info, and trading access, puts on a layer of predictive analytics to suggest trades that would be relevant to specific clients. And the benefit of this allows our sales and marketing team to be proactive, to quickly approach our clients with new ideas and with bonds they may be interested in. So when we think about the approach for innovation, there's so many ways to do it. One is building in-house. So when we think about Omega, that's a proprietary system that we built. Other ways are to partner with third-party startups and fintechs. So the other area where we've had success is on the compliance side with a minority investment in a startup called Forsha. So while Omega was built internally, this is an example of working with a third party. In early 2017, BNP announced a minority stake in the fintech startup Forsha Financial Solutions, a software company which uses artificial intelligence and business processing monitoring to help the fund industry meet its rising compliance requirements and managing volumes of data. And I think that's one area where we all struggle a bit, is how do we keep up with compliance? So founded in 2012, Forsha developed Innova, an investment compliance platform. So what does Innova do? It helps asset managers and asset owners ensure they have the right controls in place to systematically and efficiently monitor compliance of funds with local and international regulatory requirements. Through this partnership, we're able to raise the industrialization to the next level of oversight, allowing us to reinvent controls and compliance processes and provide improved services to our clients. Compliance is one area that is so time-consuming and costly. Having any type of tool to increase efficiency has been extremely helpful. The rationale has been quite clear. The user requirements are evolving quickly, and with increasing regulatory complexities and increased volumes, it's putting pressure on our business systems. This strategy equips systems with a new generation of solutions, such as natural language processing. It allows us to engineer processes for more efficiency. And that's the next theme, I would say, in addition to serving our clients better, being more efficient. I think all of our organizations struggle with cost effectiveness, increase in pricing. So where we can find efficiency can be quite valuable. The results have been reduced regulatory risk, cost effectiveness, timely reporting, and increasing operational efficiencies. Another area where artificial intelligence has been quite helpful is predictive analytics to avoid failed settlements, to identify trades that are likely to fail before it occurs. So at BNP, we've been using a matching tool that uses predictive analytics, so it can further explore automating trade process services. Clearly, this is an industry-wide challenge, which is often caused by counterparties holding mismatching data for the same trade. Using predictive analytics based on historical data to identify patterns in trades that required manual intervention in the past and proactively warn clients and brokers of live trades that will occur, action be taken proactively. So essentially, we're looking at trades that have taken place in the past, had a high likelihood of fail, using that data to predict in the future and prevent and take action in a timely manner. The factors being looked at are numerous: time of trade, the value, location of counterparty, the course of broker's history. The innovative tool helps middle office teams focus their efforts on the most problematic trades before they become a settlement issue, thereby helping increase settlement rates, reducing settlement fails. Definitely a win-win for both sides. The goal here is to really streamline the process, which has been extremely manual. Exceptions are currently managed by teams through email communications. And when we think about some of the processes that we have every day, there's a lot of Excel and on email. So many of these new tools help bypass that so we can be more efficient. Other areas of interest: natural language generation. Clearly, there's pressures on investment professionals to write market commentary in a timely manner, which can be quite time-consuming. Using well-defined rules, natural language generation can help create commentary. Using well-defined rules, it can transform structured data, such as market statistics, fund performance, risk metrics, into meaningful narratives, allowing investment professionals to focus on more value-added tasks. Additionally, fund commentary can have more standardization, following set corporate style, tone, format that's consistent, and more importantly, that quick turnaround period. It always comes down to time and trying to save more time. There's also been exploration in the development of self-learning translation web portals for corporate action using AI. This type of tool can be used in-house for secure translation, to protect sensitive data, and is tailored for corporate actions with language detection and identification of typos. And lastly, I wanted to take just a few minutes to talk about virtual agents. We're seeing many banks incorporate chatbots and virtual agents, and BNP Paribas is in the process of working with a fintech. Again, another example of working with third party. The fintech is IPsoft in New York to co-create a virtual agent. And the advantage there is you have 24/7 comprehensive support. It frees up the productive hours of employees, letting them focus back on more value-added tasks. The virtual agent can access back office systems and obtain specific information or trigger transactions. They can provide recommendations via dynamic, unscripted conversations through natural language processing. It allows for accurate support when needed with greater compliance, and it helps mine information and retrieve results quickly and effectively. So if you have a client that has questions, hopefully your virtual agent can answer it, and if your virtual agent can't, it gets kicked over to a live person. So I just wanted to give an example of where AI has been used and why it's important. Clearly, it's an extremely powerful tool, and we see so many of the large technology firms already using it, from Amazon to Facebook to Google. And what's really frightening is we're no longer concerned just about the startups and fintechs, our competitors and our peers, but we have to wonder how effective some of these large tech companies will be, and will they impose on our businesses as well? I think looking at these examples and seeing what we're seeing on the tech front, it's important to realize we don't have to be experts in AI immediately, but I think for many institutions and organizations, just to get a flavor and understand some of the advancements in this area will help differentiate institutions. Okay, so enough on AI, and we're going to take the next topic, blockchain. We've all heard so much about blockchain in the last few years, and this is the technology that underlines Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency. It was introduced in January of 2009, so relatively new, based on a paper that was posted on the internet under a pseudonym, Satoshi Nakamoto. Still, we aren't aware of who this individual is or group of individuals could be. What we're seeing on the financial institution side is, while crypto could be interesting, it's really that underlying technology, blockchain, that can add value to the financial institution area. We've also in the past heard some strong negative comments about crypto, but that area might be shifting a bit. Not too long ago, Goldman announced that they were hiring on the crypto front for trading, starting with futures, and JP Morgan's also hiring some folks with crypto experience. So maybe there will be a shift on the institutional side. But I think the mass majority of financial institutions aren't focusing on crypto, but on blockchain itself. So when we think about blockchain, what is it? It's actually not that sexy at all. It's database technology. It's a mutable, decentralized ledger with transactions that are authenticated and tracked via nodes on a network. It uses consensus formation algorithms to validate, and each member on the network maintains a copy of the database, which is updated simultaneously, increasing efficiency and cost savings. Again, those themes of efficiency and cost savings. Basically, it reduces that need for reconciliation because the ledgers are all updated at the same time. There isn't a central authority updating it and sharing information where there could be a miscommunication that will need that reconciliation in the future. When we think about BNP Paribas' experience with blockchain, we've actually been looking at blockchain since 2011, and primarily through our security services business. It is very important to understand the impact of emerging technologies on the business with the rise of new digital asset classes, the impact on the capital markets, and the impact on infrastructure. Ultimately, we believe that this isn't going to remove the need for intermediaries, but it's just going to challenge the status quo. And when I think about innovation, transformation, and digital, that's what it's coming down to. It's time to challenge the status quo. In our day-to-day processes, the way we interact with our clients, the way we do business, it's really think about, can we do this differently? Whether it's using new technology or refining existing technologies. There are a range of applications for blockchain or distributed ledger technology due to its characteristics. It offers an open source development model for software, and I think that's becoming more prevalent in our society of sharing. Some of the common protocols that use open source are Ethereum, Hyperledger Fabric, and R3 Corda. JP Morgan's developed a protocol as well, Quorum. It's more enterprise friendly, but based on the Ethereum protocol. It offers, in general, blockchain offers operational efficiency due to the simultaneous update of records. It offers improved operational and cost efficiencies. It's valuable in the sense that these updates can happen 24/7 through that consensus mechanism within a worldwide infrastructure. It can decrease settlement times, and for example, there are a number of initiatives looking at loan syndication, where loan syndication can take 20 days to settle, 20 plus days to settle. Using a blockchain solution could reduce that to just a few days. But of course, this is new technology and there are challenges as well. Again, there are several different protocols that are prevalent right now. As I mentioned, Ethereum, Hyperledger, R3 Corda. And unfortunately, these protocols don't speak to each other, so there are concerns about interoperability. We don't know which protocol is going to rise to the top, and maybe there'll be multiple protocols, but at some point, the problem that will need to be solved is, can they speak to each other? As well as working with our legacy systems. We're not going to work in a bubble. Scalability has been a focus. As the transaction history grows and the number of nodes in the database grows, we have to focus on scalability. And there are questions and uncertainty around regulatory and legal. The precedent hasn't been set yet, so on the regulatory side and legal side, professionals are still catching up. One benefit on the regulatory side is that when we have this network of nodes, regulators could have a node as well, a regulatory node, and that provides a nice audit trail. So it is promising that the regulators might be very open-minded towards utilizing blockchain technology more broadly. And again, when we approach these new technologies, there's different approaches on how to excel and gain that knowledge and awareness. It could be co-developing with clients. Actually, that's one of my preferred ways, where we learn what are the pain points some of our clients are experiencing and try to implement some of these new technologies to create solutions. Participating in industry-wide initiatives and consortia, and we're seeing more and more consortia being developed for specific industries. Obviously, the R3 blockchain consortia focuses on banks. There's also consortia focusing on insurance, even FedEx, where it's trying to track where parcels may be. So more and more consortia are being developed. There are opportunities to participate in work groups and think tanks. And of course, you can work internally as well, focusing on use cases between entities or subsidiaries of a single organization that's quite large. So I wanted to give a few examples. And for me, this is one of the most noteworthy examples that are prevalent right now. And it is the Australian Stock Exchange, ASX. And ASX has decided that it's going to replace its CHESS system that's used for clearing and settling equities. They're going to replace this with a blockchain system. The expectation is to have this system in production by late 2020, early 2021, so in the years to come. And they're doing this in collaboration with a startup, Digital Asset Holdings. So just to give you a little bit of background, Digital Asset Holdings, or DAH, is a blockchain startup that was founded in 2014. And it's led by Blythe Masters, who spent her entire career at JP Morgan. After she retired, she joined a blockchain startup, which I thought was quite indicative of the value of this technology. They were able to raise quite a bit of funding from a number of large financial institutions. BNP Paribas has invested in Digital Asset Holdings, as well as many other large institutions, Citibank, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, DTCC, CME, and many others. So that's kind of the bigger picture on where blockchain is going, and we think about, will there be widespread adoption? And I think if AXS truly does succeed in replacing their system, it's going to be a hallmark in the space. But many banks are also doing proof of concepts within their institutions, and BNP Paribas isn't any different. And where we've had quite a bit of success is on the payment side, looking at real-time cross-border payments between BNP Paribas entities on behalf of clients. It's efficient, it reduced costs, and it improved the client experience. Other institutions have been working on the payment side as well. It's been a bit of a hurdle, and I think that for true success on the payment side, again, there has to be consolidation where we're using one protocol and have greater number of institutions on the network, because blockchain is a collaborative tool. It's a network effect, and the more institutions that are on a particular blockchain, the wider spread adoption you'll have. Another BNP Paribas initiative involves collaboration between our security services business and Tata Consultancy. And again, this involves partnership. It doesn't always have to be done just in-house. And it's in an effort to transform corporate actions notification using blockchain to collect and disseminate announcements. So data from 27 official sources on 90+ markets is acquired and stored on a distributed ledger and disseminated instantaneously, helping to increase efficiency and reduce errors. Other areas where we've had success is, again, partnership. This one with AXA Investment Managers on a blockchain-based fund distribution platform to facilitate the flow of information between fund buyers and sellers. The platform allows onboarding process to be expedited for the fund buyers and asset managers, and again, increasing operational efficiency and that client experience. So what is it adding? It's that improved user experience with seamless onboarding using blockchain technology. It provides a central fund database for buyers and sellers to leverage data and market data from vendor feeds. It's a wider distribution network with lower fees and offers digitalized automated distribution agreements and allows management of rebate fees as well. So what's next? When we think about the fourth industrial revolution, that convergence of virtual and physical, there's a true opportunity for organizations to differentiate themselves, and I think that's why looking at these technologies is so important. We can all agree the industry's changing, and this is being driven by the needs and expectations of our clients. Continued technological advances, unprecedented processing power, massive storage capacity, and access to tons of data. It's really one of the areas where banks are differentiating themselves, as well as financial institutions on the whole. If we go back a few years, there were concerns on whether fintechs would disintermediate the banks. Will there be a need for large financial institutions? Would fintechs and startups be offering the products they were offering to our clients? And what we've seen is, while startups and fintechs have technology and are agile, what they lack is that trust, the data, and the history that the incumbents have to offer. And what we've found is, for true success, that synergy, that collaboration has been essential. Where large institutions are working with startups, it could be a small proof of concept, it could be an investment, it could be a full acquisition. But the large incumbents are the ones that know the regulators, understand the legal ramifications, have that trust. And in combination with these new technologies, we can really see change. Previous industrial revolutions have shown that companies and industries that do not adapt and adopt often struggle, often fail. When's the last time you went to a Blockbuster? Who's using Netflix? We have to be concerned. Change is inevitable. This isn't an option. And I strongly believe the organizations that get this right, that really implement and stay at the forefront of new technologies, are the ones that will rise to the top. And unfortunately, the ones are waiting for when this happens are the ones that may fall behind. Thank you.